Alright, and welcome back, guys. As pretty much all of you know at this point, COD Mobile just added a brand new zombie mode to the game, and with that they added a Aether Crystal camo as well. And this is kind of like, you know, the Dark Aether camo on the Cold War game, but you're able to get it in COD Mobile, and it's a little bit different, and the way you unlock it's a lot differently. And we've gone ahead and got it for one weapon here, and I've started making progress to the other weapons. Once you kind of get the strategy set up, you can unlock about a gun per every hour and a half, maybe even more. It's not that bad. Once you kind of get a strategy down for beating the hard mode, you can really get progress for 3 or 4 weapons in one game. And if it's one of the assault rifles or sniper rifles, it only takes 3 single games to do it, and you can get 2 or 3 of these camos once you've got it set up right. So this is going to be a full guide showing you about how I went about getting mine, kind of some tips and tricks to follow as you're doing this grind and other stuff like that. But starting off, the most important thing is you have to be playing in the hard game mode. You can't do this in casual. I've seen a lot of people talking about like, hey, I'm not getting any progression for this. Cannot be casual. You have to play the hard game mode is the only way it's going to work. So make sure you have hard selected. And on top of that, you have to finish the game. One of the more important things is a lot of people are like, hey, I got the 25 kills and I'm still at 0 out of 6. You have to get 25 kills in a completed undead siege match. So not only do you have to get these 25 kills, you then have to go to day 5 and finish the mission completely alive for it to give you any progression for this. Now, there's also a few other super important details to note. Right now, both the assault rifles and the sniper rifles have these little red arrows. And if you come over here, complete Aether Crystal camo task to double progression. So if you go in game right now, if you have these little red arrows, if you, let's say, get 25 kills with this weapon right here, and then you complete the match, you're actually going to get progression for 2. So I've only used this for 2 games now, and the first game I got 2 out of 6. The second game I got 4 out of 6. And if I play one more game, just one more, I'll actually acquire this. I don't know why just the assault rifles and the sniper rifles have this. I don't know if maybe later on they're going to give you double progression for some of the later categories. But the way it stands right now, it is so much easier to get this camos for sniper rifles and assault rifles because it takes half the time. You're getting double camo progression. So if you log in and you don't see these, you're going to have to do all 6 games. But if you see these little red arrows by the weapon, that's kind of a category you want to focus on because, I mean, you're going to be able to do it twice as fast. So maybe later on in the season, we'll be able to do some more of them. Or maybe there's a way in game right now you can unlock this double progression. We don't know too much about it, but I'll keep you informed in the comments if anything happens. And one other thing, I know we're giving a lot of information because this is just super confusing how to unlock. And I want to make sure you know all the ins and outs for this. If you come down to these bottom ones, these are locked. Right when you beat the hard mode for the first time, you're actually not able to go in game and unlock progression for all the weapons. I can't do pistols, marksman rifles, shotguns, SMGs. I can only do these first 3 categories. So what I would have to do is if I wanted to unlock these camos for the SMG, you see how it's locked here. If you come up here, go to milestone, we have to be tier 21 in the kind of battle pass thing for the undead siege before we can even make progress for the SMGs. You've got to be tier 31 for the shotguns, tier 41 for the marksman rifles, and tier 50 for the pistols. Now, if you want to go ahead and check what rank you are, if you go back to the main menu up here, you can see we're only level 16. To be able to unlock this for the SMGs, we've got to get it to, you know, level 21, which we're kind of close, but we've been grinding this a lot. And then, you know, if you want to get the marksman rifles, they're somewhere around here. The shotguns are somewhere around here. If you want to do the pistols, you have to go all the way to rank 50. So it is going to be extremely hard in this to be able to get the pistols, this Aether Crystal camo, just because not only do you have to do the games for it, you've got to go all the way to tier 50 to be able to do that. And there's another thing that's kind of special about this. You can't use any sort of melee weapons in zombies. So what they've done here is if you look on kind of this completionist camo guide, you have to do different categories to unlock it. So if you want to get it for the knife, you've got to complete it for our marksman rifles. If you want to do it for the shovel, you've got to complete the camo for all shotguns. So you've got to get like 8 shotguns, or I think there's like 7 shotguns in the game, whatever the amount is. Some of them you got to do all assault rifles. If you want to get the Aether Crystal camo for the machete, you have to get every single assault rifle the Aether Crystal camo, which is like 18 of them. That is ridiculous. And that's not even the most crazy part. If we look down here, after the Aether Crystal camo for all the weapons above have been unlocked, you unlock the crystal camo for the wrench and both of the rocket launchers. There are 71 weapons in this game. So what you have to do to be able to get the wrench having the crystal camo on it and the rocket launchers, you've got to get all weapons in the game, all 71 weapons to get that. That right there is a ridiculous grind, and on top of that, you're going to get this calling card as well. So that's why it's kind of important to grind this. It seems to be a limited time mode, so these might be some really rare items kind of down the line in COD Mobile, because if this is a mode that goes away, that wrench having that camo and the rocket launchers having that Aether Crystal camo, what that means is you win in game and grinded all 71 of these. And I've played so far for quite a while. I just got one, but I've got it set up now where I can kind of go back and get more and more. And that's what we're going to be streaming and doing. So that's everything you know about unlocking it, how to get the different special tiers. Let's go ahead and go in game and talk about the tips you want to follow to go about actually unlocking it and getting that progression as quick as possible. Now, starting off, the first thing you have to do is actually pick the weapon you want to unlock the camo for. The easiest thing to do is kind of do weapons on the ground first to kind of get a feel for what you're doing. And not all the weapons spawn on the ground, so you want to be able to make a custom class with certain weapons that you can't find on the ground. So let's say you want to do the assault rifle and you want to do something like the BK-57. This is not a weapon I have ever seen in game naturally, so you can go in here and you can go to create a class, you can put whatever attachments you want on it, quick equip this weapon, and now once we load in game, we can pay 2,500 points and we're going to be able to buy this weapon from the machine and use it when we're in the zombies mode. And there's a lot of weapons that's the only way you're going to get it with inside the mode. And now we're loaded into game. Once you spawn in, the first thing you want to do is go to a high loot area. That way you're able to go and pick up kind of the weapon you're looking for and get points so you can buy the weapon if you're trying to get a weapon out of a crate. Before you can even start unlocking this camo, you do have to go through the entire thing one time and beat the hard mode. If you need a guide to be able to beat that, I've got a link in the description. Same thing, if you're looking for people to play with, this mode's so much easier when you're playing with people you can talk to and interact with. I'm gonna have a link to our Discord below. We've got about 11,000 active members to help you join and play with. So if you need help beating the hard mode or grinding camos, check out the Discord to be able to find some people to play with. Here we are, right off the bat, we just found the AK 117, and this is one of the weapons we need to do. So as soon as we get it, instead of looting around this match, we've got to be able to get 25 kills with this weapon. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue for the rest of this until it teleports us back, killing as many zombies as possible. We only need to kill 25 and then we can move on to another weapon. And that's the best part about this, is when you're doing this grind, you can make progression for multiple weapons in one game. So when I'm doing this, I'm essentially finding a weapon I need to work with, getting 25 kills, swapping to another weapon, and continuously doing that throughout the entire match. And there's been matches where I've made progression for 4 different weapons in one single game just by constantly switching out weapons. Obviously, it's going to be a little bit harder once you do all the weapons that spawn on the ground, because you're going to have to start buying every single one of them from the crate, which is going to get expensive. Or you could kind of risk and try to get out of the mystery box, but the first few weapons are kind of easy. Now here we are in our very first night. Obviously, just like normal, if you want to be able to beat the mode, you're going to have to start setting up the sentry guns, because that is the easiest way to beat this. And I don't find myself using the weapon I'm working with that much during the nighttime. A lot of time during the nighttime, you're getting big bosses, not doing a lot of damage. The very first night is pretty much the only night you're going to be able to get kills with it. Unfortunately, I'm out of ammo. We can run outside real quick, though. And there we go. We were able to get a little bit of ammo. During the first round, I'll run out a few separate times. And after this first night, this is the only night I'm going to get kills with the weapon. The best time to get kills with the weapon is during the day, because you're going to get a lot of normal zombies, and that's where almost all of my kills for these camo progressions come from. All right, here we go. Day 2. If you're looking where to buy your weapon, this is that created class we just made for the BK-57. So if you're getting a weapon that you need to buy, you're going to go up to the machine. You can do it during the day or night, and it's going to be 2,500 points to buy that. All right, here we go. Day 2. We're going to go ahead, look for ammo on the ground. Ooh, here's the Aether Crystal camo we have in action, but we don't want to be using this weapon. We obviously need to start unlocking it for this weapon, and we do need to get those 25 kills with it. Oh, and here we go. Just found this LMG. This is another weapon we can make progress for. Kind of keep account of how many kills you have for the weapon. That way you're not wasting kills. We've got almost the 25 kills for our AR, and now we're going to start working on doing it for the LMG as well. And the quickest way to make quick progression of this camo, the more weapons you can get done in one match, the better. But you also want to make sure you're able to beat the match, because if you lose the match, you're going to lose all this extra progression. So if you're buying a lot of custom weapons out of the box and you're spending a lot of money trying to get this, you might not have all the money you need to build up the defenses for the base and finish the mission, and that would just mean all the progression you got was completely wasted. And now for day number 3, we're going to do the exact same thing. Go to a high loot area and just proceed to kill a bunch of zombies. We're actually completely done with this. We've already got the 25 kills we need for that AK, so we're going to go ahead and try to finish up the 25 kills needed for this LMG as well. The next night or the next day is where things are going to change up a little bit because that's when we get our first objective. But the first 3 days, same exact thing. Just kind of get weapons and farm as many kills with different unique weapons as possible. Make sure you're farming for weapons you have unlocked. There's a reason I haven't picked up any SMGs because I haven't unlocked the ability to grind for any of those yet until we hit the I think rank 21 in the battle pass, or not the battle pass, the Richtofen's progression rewards or whatever it is. Now, once you get to day 4, this actually gets a lot easier because on day 4, you unlock the missions, and these missions spawn so many zombies during the daytime that any weapons you have, you can finish so quickly. As long as you have the ammo for it, the sheer amount of zombies that are going to spawn around this crystal, like look at that. Right there, unfortunately, I didn't really bring a bunch of ammo. If we had more ammos and more weapons, just look at this. That's enough to finish both the weapons that are currently in our hand without any issue. And that's why I'm really only killing zombies during the daytime. Because if you're trying to kill them during the night while you're defending, you're going to, one, risk the chance of losing because using the wrench is super powerful. So make sure you're farming all of your weapons in the daytime to get those kills and continuously swapping back out in between weapons. And that's really all the main tips. It really comes down to just being efficient with it, kind of doing as many per game as absolutely possible. And the coolest part about this camo grind is the more you do it, the more weapons you get, the more you're playing and actually completing these matches, it's going to get easier and easier. Every time you complete it, you get more crystals, you're able to upgrade your character, you're able to get the sentry guns even better. Same thing with your wrench, all that stuff. Every time you do that, it makes a pretty big difference. So the first few games and the first few camos you get are going to get fairly hard, but once you get the groove down and you're stacking 3 or 4 progressions for a weapon in a single game, I mean, you're going to be able to fly through this. It's still going to be extremely hard to get all 71 of them because that's 71 different weapons. And I mean, it's probably going to take an hour, every hour and a half to 2 hours. Once you get in the groove of things, you can probably do 3 or 4 weapons as long as you're double stacking like weapons in games. And it is going to get easier, but if you're doing all 71, I really wish you good luck on that grind. I might go for it because I kind of want that Aether Crystal Wrench. And if you follow everything in this guide, you should be able to make quick work and get the weapons that you want the camo on. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video, guys. Let me know, do you plan on grinding for all 71 of these? Or do you just plan on getting a couple? Do you plan on getting your few favorite weapons? Are you going to get any at all? Is this too hard? You're just not going to play it at all. You're just going to stick to multiplayer, the Battle Royale mode, skip out on this. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. I want to take the last moment here to give a thanks to everyone who's became a Twitch sub, our YouTube member, and an extra special thanks to those who have taken above and beyond. We've got Chef, aka Chief, aka Classified. We've got the man whose name should be really easy to pronounce, Yamaster. We've got my friend with the most stable PS5 ever, DX2069. We've got the Big Mac Bandit himself, Brian Plays. We've got the man, the myth, the legend, Cryptic, and then we have the absolute boss, Hunter Redondo. All these people have taken a step above and beyond and became Unlock++ members on YouTube. Thank you so much, true homies.